Love to. Shall I go ahead?
Yes, Prabhu.
Om Jnanatmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakhaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadahmayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalaam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri-rupam sagrajatam sahagana raghunathanvitam tam sajivam sadvaitam savdhutam parijana sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan sahagana lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namoste तप्त कंचन गौरंगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्या प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा शुभ साधि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे.
Haribo. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay, so today we continue with the chapter number 2, text number 37. Who wants to start?
I can read, Prabhu. Then I have to leave early.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गं जित्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे महीम् तस्माद् उत्तिष्ठ कौन्तेय युद्धाय कृता निश्चय हता being killed va either prapasi you gain swargam the heavenly kingdom jitva by conquering va or bhokshase you enjoy mahim the world tasmat therefore uthishta get up konteya o son of kunti yuddhaya to fight krita determination nishchaya uncertainty o son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up and fight with determination. Purpose. Even though there was no certainty of victory for Arjuna's side, he still had to fight. For even being killed there, he could be elevated into the heavenly kingdoms. Sukha dukha समय कृत्वा लाभालाभौ जय जयौ ततो युद्धया युज्वा यस्व नैवं पापम् आवाप्यसि sukha happiness dukhe in distress same in equanimity kritva doing so labha labhav both in loss and profit jaya jayav both in defeat and victory tata thereafter yuddhaya for the sake of fighting yuj yasva do fight na never evam in this way papam sinful reaction avapyasi you will gain. Do thou fight for the sake of fighting, without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat. and by doing so, you shall never incur sin. Purport. Lord Krishna now directly says that Arjuna should fight for the sake of fighting because he desires the battle. There is no consideration of happiness or distress, profit or gain, victory or defeat in the activities of Krishna consciousness. That everything should be performed for the sake of Krishna is transcendental consciousness. So there is no reaction to material activities. He who acts for his own sense gratification, either in goodness or in passion, is subject to the reaction, good or bad. But he who has completely surrendered himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness is no longer obliged by anyone, nor he is a debtor to anyone, as one is in the ordinary course of activities. It is said, Devarshi Bhutapa Narnam Pitranam Na Kinkaro Nayamri Cha Rajan Sarvatma Ya Sharanam Saranyam Gato Mukundam Paritya Kartam. Bhagavatam 11.5.41. Anyone who has completely surrendered unto Krishna, Mukunda, giving up all other duties, is no longer a debtor, nor he is obliged to anyone, not the demigods, nor the sages, nor the people in general, nor the kingsmen, nor humanity, nor forefathers. That is the direct hint given by Krishna to Arjuna in this verse. And the matter will be more clearly explained in the following verses. एषा ते अभिहिता संख्ये बुद्धिर्योगे तव इमां शृणु बुद्धया युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्म बंधम प्रहास्यति. Esa, all this, te, unto you, abhihita, described, sankhya, by analytical study, buddhi, intelligence, yoga, work without fruitive result. Two, but, imam, this, shrunu, just here, buddhaya, by intelligence, yukta, doubted, yaya, by which, partha, o son of Pritha, karma, bandham, bondage of reaction. Praha Stayasi, you can be released from. Translation. Thus far, I have declared to you the analytical knowledge of Sankhya philosophy. Now listen to the knowledge of yoga, whereby one works without fruitive result. O son of Pritha, then you can act by such intelligence, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. Purport. According to the Nirukti or the Vedic dictionary, Sankhya means that which describes phenomena in detail, and Sankhya refers to that philosophy which describes the real nature of the soul, and yoga involves controlling the senses. Arjuna's proposal not to fight was based on sense gratification. Forgetting his prime duty, he wanted to cease fighting because he thought that by not killing his relatives and kinsman, he would be happier than by enjoying the kingdom by conquering his cousins and brothers, the sons of Dhritarashtra. In both ways, the basic principles were for sense gratification. Happiness derived from conquering them and happiness derived by seeing kinsmen alive are both on the basis of personal sense gratification, for there is a sacrifice of wisdom and duty. Krishna therefore wanted to explain to Arjuna that by killing the body of his grandfather, he would not be killing the soul proper. And he explained that all individual persons, including the Lord himself, are eternal individuals. They were individuals in the past, they are individuals in the present, and they will continue to remain individuals in the future. Because all of us are individual souls eternally, and we simply change our bodily dress in different manners. But actually, we keep our individuality even after liberation from the bondage of material dress. An analytical study of the soul and the body has been very graphically explained by Lord Krishna. And this descriptive knowledge of the soul and the body from different angles of vision has been described here as Sankhya. In terms of Nirukti dictionary, this Sankhya has nothing to do with the Sankhya philosophy of the atheist Kapila. Long before the impostor Kapila's Sankhya, the Sankhya philosophy was expounded in the Srimad Bhagavatam by true Lord Kapila, the incarnation of Lord Krishna, who explained it to his mother Devahuti. It is clearly explained by him that the Purusha or the Supreme Lord is active and that he creates by looking over the Prakriti. This is accepted in the Vedas and in the Gita. The description in the Vedas indicates that the Lord glanced over the Prakriti or nature and impregnated it with atomic individual souls. All these individual souls are working in the material world for sense gratification, and under the spell of material energy, they are thinking of being enjoyers. This mentality is dragged to the last point of liberation when the living entity wants to become one with the Lord. This is the last snare of Maya or sense gratificatory illusion, and it is only after many, many births of such sense gratificatory activities that a great soul surrenders unto Vasudeva, the Lord Krishna, Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, therefore fulfilling the search after the ultimate truth. Arjuna has already accepted Krishna as his spiritual master by surrendering himself unto him. Shishyasте aham sadimam tvam prapannam. Consequently, Krishna will now tell him about the working process in Buddhi Yoga or Karma Yoga, or in other words, the practice of devotional service only for the sense gratification of the Lord. This Buddhi Yoga is clearly explained in chapter 10, verse 10, as being direct communion with the Lord, who is sitting as Paramatma in everyone's heart. But such communion does not take place without devotional service. One who is therefore situated in devotional or transcendental loving service to the Lord, or in other words, in Krishna consciousness, attains to this stage of Buddhi Yoga by special grace of the Lord. The Lord therefore says therefore that only to those who are always engaged in devotional service out of transcendental love does he award the pure knowledge of devotion in love. In that way, the devotee can reach him easily in the ever blissful kingdom of God. Thus, the Buddhi Yoga mentioned in this verse is the devotional service of the Lord, and the word Sankhya mentioned herein has nothing to do with the atheistic Sankhya Yoga enunciated by the impostor Kapila. One should not, therefore, misunderstand that the Sankhya Yoga mentioned herein has any connection with the atheistic Sankhya, nor did their philosophy have any influence during that time. Nor would Lord Krishna care to mention such wordless philosophical speculations. Real Sankhya philosophy is described by Lord Kapila in the Srimad Bhagavatam, but even that Sankhya has nothing to do with the current topics. Here, Sankhya means analytical description of the body and the soul. Lord Krishna made an analytical description of the soul just to bring Arjuna to the point of Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. Therefore, Lord Krishna's Sankhya and Lord Kapila's Sankhya, as described in the Bhagavatam, are one and the same. They are all Bhakti Yoga. He said, therefore, the only less intelligent class of men make a distinction between Sankhya Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Of course, atheistic Sankhya Yoga has nothing to do with Bhakti Yoga, yet the unintelligent claim that the aesthetic atheistic Sankhya Yoga is referred to in the Bhagavad Gita. One should therefore understand that Buddhi Yoga means to work in Krishna consciousness in the full bliss and knowledge of devotional service. One who works for the satisfaction of the Lord only, however difficult such work may be, is working under the principles of Buddhi Yoga and finds himself always in transcendental bliss. By such transcendental engagement, one achieves all the transcendental qualities automatically by the grace of the Lord, and thus his liberation is complete in itself, without his making extraneous endeavors to acquire knowledge. There is much difference between work in Krishna consciousness and work for fruitive results, especially in the matter of sense gratification for achieving results in terms of family or material happiness. Buddhi Yoga is therefore the transcendental quality of the work that we perform. Thank you, Prabhu.
Haribo, thank you so much, Prabhu. Who wants to continue? Hare Krishna Neil Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna Prabhu, please and knowledge, so much Srila Prabhupada. Happy to see many people today.
Yes, Prabhu. Oh, this is known verse. Who wants to read it?
I can read.
So Prabhu. Oh,
Or maybe Neil Prabhu will read, I think.
No, my throat pain just recovered. I want to give my throat a little rest actually.
Okay.
Pranjal
Jai
Prabhu can say
Jai Kant
if
Jai
I can
Pranjal
read
Prabhu
Prabhu.
wants, Pranjal Prabhu can say it. If he wants to read it, Pranjal Prabhu. Or Vivek Prabhu, you can also read it if you want.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay. Jai Kant Prabhu, you can also read.
Okay,
I think
Prabhu.
you are ready.
Yes, Prabhu. Nehabhikramanas nashosti pratyavayo navidyate svalpamapi asya dharmasya traya. Sorry, can you scroll up, Prabhu? Sorry. Svalpam Svalpam apiyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Now, there is not iha in this world abhikrama endeavoring, nasha loss, asti there is, pratyavaya diminution, na never, vidyate there is, swalpam little, api although, sya of this, dharmasya of this occupation, trayate releases, mahata of very great, bhayat from danger. Translation: in this endeavor there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Purport: activity in Krishna consciousness, or acting for the benefit of Krishna without expectation of sense gratification, is the highest transcendental quality of work. Even a small beginning of such activity finds no impediment, nor can that small beginning be lost at any stage. Any work begun on the material plane has to be completed, otherwise the whole attempt becomes a failure. But any work begun in Krishna consciousness has permanent effect, even though not finished. The performer of such work is therefore not at a loss, even if his work in Krishna consciousness is incomplete. 1% done in Krishna consciousness bears permanent results, so that the next beginning is from the point of 2%. Whereas in material activity, without 100% success, there is no profit. Jamila performed his duty in some percentage of Krishna consciousness. But the result he enjoyed at the end was 100% by the grace of the Lord. There's a nice verse in this connection in Srimad Bhagavatam. Tyaktva swadharmam karanam bhujam harer bhajan na pakotha patit tatho yadi yatra kva va bhadram abhud amusyakim ko vartha apto bhajatam swadharmata. If someone gives up self-gratificatory pursuits and works in Krishna consciousness and then falls down on the account of not completing his work, what loss is there on his part? And what can one gain if one performs his material activities perfectly? Or, as the Christians say, what profiteth a man if he gain the whole world, yet suffers the loss of his eternal soul? Material activities and their results end with the body, but work in Krishna consciousness carries the person again to Krishna consciousness, even after the loss of the body. At least one is sure to have the chance in the next life of being born again as a human being, either in the family of a great cultured Brahmana or a rich aristocratic family that will give one a further chance for elevation. That is the unique quality of work done in Krishna consciousness. Verse 41. व्यावसायात्मिका बुद्धिर एकेहा कुरुनन्दना बहुशक्ता हि अनन्तश्च बुद्धायो व्यावाश्यनम 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 vyavashaktima, resolute Krishna consciousness. Buddhi, intelligence. Eka, only one. Iha, in this world. Kuru Nandana, O beloved child of the Kurus. Bahushakha, various branches. He, indeed. Ananta, unlimited. Cha, also. Buddhaya, intelligence. Avyavas, Sainam, of those who are not in Krishna consciousness. Translation: those who are on the path, those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and the aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. Purport: strong faith in Krishna consciousness that one should be elevated to the highest perfection of life is called Vyavasyatika intelligence. Vyavasatmika intelligence. The Chaitanya Charitamrita states, Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Kahe Sudhradha Nishchaya Krishna Bhakti Kailash Sarva Karma Kritahaya. Faith means unflinching trust in something sublime. When one is engaged in the duties of Krishna consciousness, he need not act in relationship to the material world with obligations to family traditions, humanity, or nationality. Fruitive activities are the engagements of one's reactions from past good or bad deeds. When one is awake in Krishna consciousness, he need no longer endeavor for good results in his activities. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities are on the absolute plane, for they are no longer subject to dualities like good and bad. The highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of the material conception of life. This state is automatically achieved by progressive Krishna consciousness. The resolute purpose of a person in Krishna consciousness is based on knowledge. Vasudeva Sarvam Iti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha, by which one comes to know perfectly that Vasudev or Krishna is the root of all manifested causes. As water on the root of a tree is automatically distributed to the leaves and branches, in Krishna consciousness, one can render the highest service to everyone, namely self, family, society, country, humanity, etc. If Krishna is satisfied by one's actions, then everyone will be satisfied. Service in Krishna consciousness is, however, best practiced under the able guidance of a spiritual master who is a bona fide representative of Krishna, who knows the nature of the student and who can guide him to act in Krishna consciousness. As such, to be well versed in Krishna consciousness, one has to act firmly and obey the representative of Krishna. And one should accept the instruction of the bona fide spiritual master as one's mission in life. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur instructs us in his famous prayers for the spiritual master as follows. Yasya prasadad bhagvat prasado yasya prasadana gati kutopi dhyayam tu stuvam tasya yashas tri sandhyam Vande Guru Shri Charana Ravindam. By satisfaction of the spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes satisfied. And by not satisfying the spiritual master, there is no chance of being promoted to the plane of Krishna consciousness. I should therefore meditate and pray for his mercy 3 times a day and offer my respectful obeisances unto him, my spiritual master. The whole process, however, depends on perfect knowledge of the soul beyond the conception of the body, not theoretically but practically, when there is no longer chance for sense gratification manifested in fruitive activities. One who is not firmly fixed in mind is diverted by various types of fruitive acts. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Would anyone like to continue?
Hey Krishna, yes.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hello?
Hare Krishna, Manu Prabhu, Dandat Pram, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Excuse me. Yam imam pushpitam vacham pravadandya vipaschitaha veda rata prata nanyat astiti vadinaha kamatma swarga para. Excuse me. Kamatmana sarga para janma karma palapadam pradam kriya besisha bahulam bhogesvarya gatim prati. Yamidam, all these, puspitam, flower, vacham, flowers, pavadanti, say, avipaschitaha, men with a poor fund of knowledge, Veda rataha, supposed followers of the Vedas, Partha, O son of Partha, na, never, Anyat, anything else, Asti, there is, Iti, thus, Vadinaha, advocates kama, atmanaha, desires of sense gratification, swarga paraha, aiming to achieve heavenly planets, janma karma phala pradam, resulting in fruit of action, good birth, etc. Kriya veshesha, pompous ceremonies, bahulyam, various, bhoga, sense enjoyment, aisvarya, opulence, yatim, progress, prati, towards. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhayacharya Arvinda, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resulting good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification, opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. Purport. I show Prabhupada. People in general are not very intelligent, and due to their ignorance, they are most attached to fruitive activities recommended in the karma kanda portions of the Vedas. They do not want anything more than sense gratificatory proposals for enjoying life in heaven, where wine and women are available and material opulence is very common. In the Vedas, many sacrifices are recommended for elevation to heavenly planets, especially the Jyotishtoma sacrifices. In fact, it is stated that anyone desiring elevation to heavenly planets must perform these sacrifices. And men with forefront of knowledge think that this is the whole purpose of the Vedic wisdom. It is very difficult for such inexperienced persons to be situated in determination. Scroll up, please. Indeterminate action of Krishna consciousness. As fools are attached to flowery, poisonous trees without knowing the results of such attraction, similarly, unenlightened men are attracted by such heavenly opulence and the sense enjoyment thereof. You can scroll up more, all the way to like in the karma kanda. No, like scroll to the next paragraph in the karma kanda. Yeah, there you go. In the Karmakanda section of the Vedas, it is said that those who perform 4 monthly penances become eligible to drink the samarasa beverages, to become immortal and happy forever. Even on this earth, some are very eager to have samarasa to become strong and fit and enjoy sense gratification. Such persons have no faith in liberation from material bondage. They are very much attached to pompous ceremonies of Vedic sacrifices. They are generally visual, and they do not want anything other than heavenly pleasures of life. This is understood that there are gardens called Nandana Kanana, in which there is good opportunity for association with angelic, beautiful women having a profuse supply of samarasa wine. Such bodily happiness is certainly sensual. Therefore, there are those who are purely attached to material temporary happiness as lords of the material world. Text number 44, anyone can do it. Okay, next I'll just do it. Bhogaisvarya prashaktanam daya parita chitas tesam vyavasayakmika bhuti samadhauna vidhiyate. Zero Prabhu ki jai. Bhoga, material enjoyment. Ayasvarya, opulence. Prasaktanam, those who are so attached. Taya, by such things. Aparitam chetasam, bewildered in mind. Vyavasayakmika, fixed determination. Bhutihi, the devotional service of the Lord. Samadho, in the controlled mind. Na, never. Vitiyate, takes place. Translation. In the minds of those who are attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination of devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. Report. Samadhi means fixed mind. The Vedic dictionary Nirukti says Samyag Adhiyate Samin Atma Tattva Yata 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 Yatamya. When the mind is fixed for understanding the self, it is called samadhi. Samadhi is never possible for persons interested in material sense enjoyment, nor for those who are bewildered by such temporary things. They are more or less condemned by the process of material energy. Treya Guna Visaya. Oh, wait. Wait, that is 3, 1. Yeah. Treya Gunya Visaya. No, that has to be like 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That correct? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. That's 8. Traigunya Visaya Veda Nistragunyo Bhavarduna Nirdwandvo Nitya Sattvatsto Nir Yoga Shat Shema Atmavan. Great synonyms, word to word. Trigunya, pertaining to the three modes of material nature. Visayaha, of the subject matter. Vedaha, Vedic literature. Nishtragunyaha, in the pure state of spiritual existence. The Bhava, B. Arjuna or Arjuna. Nirdya, Nirdvanvaha. Next. Thank you. Free from the pains of opposites. Nitya Sattvastaha, ever remaining in sattva, goodness. Niryog Shemaha, free from the thought of acquisition and preservation. Excuse me. Atmavan, established in the self. Translation. Oh, 0. Translation. The Vedas mainly deal with the subject of the three modes of material nature. Rise above these modes, or be transcendental to all of them. Be free from all gain and be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in himself. Purport. In the material activities involved actions and reactions in the modes of material nature. Sorry, let me read that again. All material activities involve actions and reactions in the three modes of material nature. They are meant for fruitive results which cause bondage in the material world. The Vedas deal mostly with fruitive activities to gradually elevate the general public from the field of sense gratification to a position of transcendental plane. Arjuna, as a student and friend of Lord Krishna, is advised to raise himself to the transcendental position of Vedanta philosophy, where in the beginning there is Brahma Jignasa, or question on the supreme transcendence. All, I say, all the living entities who are in the material world are struggling very hard for existence. For them, the Lord, after creation of the material world, gave the Vedic wisdom advising how to live and get rid of the material entanglement. When the activities for sense gratification, namely Karmakanda chapter, are finished, then the chance for spiritual realization is offered from in the form of Upanishads, which are part of the different Vedas, as the Bhagavad Gita is part of the fifth Veda, namely the Mahabharata. The Upanishads mark the beginning of transcendental life. As long as a material body exists, there are actions and reactions in the material modes. One has to learn tolerance in the face of dualities, such as happiness and distress, or cold and warmth, by tolerating such dualities. Become free from anxieties regarding gain and loss. This transcendental position is achieved in full Krishna consciousness when one is fully dependent on the goodwill of Krishna. Yavam arta utapane sarvata sampluto dake Tavam sarveshu vedeshu Brahma Brahmanasya Vidyanataha.
Ribu, 1 second, I need to read this translation.
Is the translation different from the original, or what's going on?
No, Prabhu.
Yeah. All purposes that are served by the small pond can at once be served by the great reservoirs of water. Similarly, all purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. Report. The rituals and sacrifices mentioned in the Karmakanda divisions of the Vedic literatures are to encourage gradual development of self-realization. The purpose of the self-realization is clearly stated in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 15.15. The purpose of studying the Vedas is to know Krishna, Lord Krishna, the primeval cause of everything. So self-realization means understanding Krishna and one's eternal relationship with him. The relationship of the living entities with Krishna is also mentioned in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The living entities are part and parcels of Krishna. Therefore, the revival of Krishna consciousness by the individual living entity is the highest perfectional stage of Vedic knowledge. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, chapter 33, verse 7, as follows. Aho pataswa pachoto grariyan nyaji hargre vartate nama dupyam upes tapaste tu su sasnu arya brahmanucho nama grinati yete. O Lord of the persons who is chanting your holy name, although born of low family like the Chandala dog eater, is situated in the highest platform of self-realization. Such a person must have performed all kinds of penances and sacrifices according to Vedic rituals and studied the Vedic literatures many, many times over after taking his bath in the holy places of pilgrimage. Such a person is considered to be the best of the Aryan family. So, one must be intelligent enough. One must be intelligent enough to understand the purpose of the Vedas. Without being attached to the rituals only, and must not desire to be elevated to the heavenly kingdom for a better quality of sense gratification. It is not possible for common man in this age to follow all rules and regulations of the Vedic rituals and injunctions of the Vedantas and Upanishads. It requires time, energy, knowledge, and resources to execute the purposes of the Vedas. It is hardly possible in this age. The best purpose of the Vedic culture is served, however, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, as recommended by Lord Chaitanya, the deliverer of all fallen souls. When Lord Chaitanya was asked by the great Vedic scholar Prakashananda Saraswati why he, the Lord, was chanting the holy name of the Lord like a sentimentalist instead of studying Vedanta philosophy, the Lord replied that his spiritual master found him to be a great fool, and thus he asked him to chant the holy name of Lord Krishna. He did so and became ecstatic like a madman. In this age of Kali, most of the population is foolish and not adequately educated to understand Vedanta philosophy. The best purpose of Vedanta philosophy is served inoffensively chanting the holy name of the Lord. Vedanta is the last word in Vedic wisdom. Repeat, Vedanta is the last word of Vedic wisdom, and the author and knower of the Vedanta philosophy is Lord Krishna. And the highest Vedantis is a great soul who takes pleasure in chanting the whole name of the Lord. That is the ultimate purpose of Vedic mysticism. Jai Shri Prabhupada, anyone who wants to step up and
Can I read Prabhu?
yes, please.
Srikant Prabhu, Danda Pranam, Jai Shri
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna Prabhu's Dandi Pranam. Please accept my humble wishes. All Guru Srila Prabhupada.
Yes, Prabhu, please read.
कर्मणि एवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूर्मा ते संगो अस्तु कर्मणि. Karmani, synonyms. Karmani, prescribed duties. Eva, certainly. Adhikara, right. Te, of you. Ma, never. Paleshu, in the fruits. Kadachana, at any time. Ma, never. Karma phala, in the result of the work. Hetuhu, cause. Buhu, become. Ma, never. Te, of you. Sangaha, attachment. Astu, be there. Akarmani, in not doing. Translation. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. Purport. There are three considerations here: prescribed duties, capricious work, and inaction. Prescribed duties refer to activities performed while one is in the mode of material nature. Capricious work means actions without the sanction of authority, and inaction means not performing one's prescribed duties. The Lord advised that Arjuna not be inactive, but that he perform his prescribed duty without being attached to the result. One who is attached to the result of his work is also the cause of the action. Thus, he is the enjoyer or sufferer of the result of such action. As far as prescribed duties are concerned, they can, probably if you would scroll down. As far as the prescribed duties are concerned, they can be fitted into three subdivisions, namely routine work, emergency work, and desired activities. Routine work in terms of the scriptural injunctions is done without desire for results. As one has to do it, obligatory work is action in the mode of goodness. Work with results becomes the cause of bondage. Therefore, such work is not auspicious. Everyone has his proprietary right in regard to prescribed duties, but should act without attachment to the result. Such disinterested obligatory duties doubtlessly lead one to the path of liberation. Arjuna was therefore advised by the Lord to fight as a matter of duty without attachment to the result. His non-participation in the battle is another side of attachment. Such attachment never leads one to the path of salvation. Any attachment, positive or negative, is the cause for bondage. Inaction is sinful. Therefore, fighting as a matter of duty was the only auspicious path of salvation for Arjuna.
Wow. Inaction is sinful.
Inaction.
A lot of people will say, "Oh, I'm not choosing, so that means I'm a good person."
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Some people would be not commenting on meat eating because they feel it is not uh, considered acceptable in societal circles, but they are actually committing sin by not speaking against something that they believe in.
Like being neutral is almost like a go-to in this place. It like, I mean, I don't blame them at this point why they choose not to choose, because it's so confusing. If they choose, then they get bombarded and they don't know how to answer. Like, here's the answer.
Yeah. Yes. So detachment and attachment both are not favorable to devotional service. Text 48. Yogastakuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhi asiddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga yuchyate. Yogastha, steadfast in yoga. Kuru, perform. Karmani, your duty. Sangam, attachment. Tyaktva, having abandoned. Dhananjaya, O Dhananjaya. Siddhi asiddhayo, in success and failure. Sama, the same. Bhutva, having become. Samatvam, evenness of mind. Yoga, yuga. Yoga, yoga, yoga. Yoga, yoga. Uchyate is called. Be steadfast in yoga, O Arjuna. Perform your duty and abandon all attachment to success or failure. Such evenness of mind is called yoga. Purport. Krishna tells Arjuna that he should act in yoga. And what is that yoga? Yoga means to concentrate the mind upon the Supreme by controlling the ever-disturbing senses. And who is the Supreme? The Supreme is the Lord. And because he himself is telling Arjuna to fight, Arjuna has nothing to do with the results of the fight. Gain or victory are Krishna's concern. Arjuna is simply advised to act according to the dictation of Krishna. The following of Krishna's dictation is real yoga, and this is practiced in the process called Krishna consciousness. By Krishna consciousness only can one give up the sense of proprietorship. One has to become the servant of Krishna or the servant of the servant of Krishna. That is the right way to discharge duty in Krishna consciousness, which alone can help one to act in yoga. Arjuna is a Kshatriya, and as such, he is participating in the Varnashrama Dharma institution. It is said in the Vishnu Purana that in the Varnashrama Dharma, the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu. No one should satisfy himself, as is the rule in the material world, but one should satisfy Krishna. So, unless one satisfies Krishna, one cannot correctly observe the principles of Varnashrama Dharma. Indirectly, Arjuna was advised to act as Krishna told him. Thank you, Prabhu. Haribol. I'm just getting a call. I'll take the call and come back. Meanwhile, somebody else can continue to.
Thank you, Baru. I very much appreciate it.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hari Krishna.
Oh, Zero Prabhu. Yes. Would you want to volunteer, Prabhu? Is he a big reader? Zero Prabhu? Anyone else? Anyone else?
I can read, bro.
There you go. Vivek Prabhu ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, bro, for this opportunity. Krishna, 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 Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Ram, 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 Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Ram, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare 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 Shri Krishna Nityam Ram Nityananda Shri Guru Krishna Prabhu, 1 minute, Prabhu. I will put charge. My battery is low. 1 minute, Prabhu. 50 seconds. Yes, Prabhu. Sorry. Durena he our karma buddhi yogad dhananjaya buddhau saranam anvicha kripana phala hetvaha. Synonyms. Durena, by discarding it at a long distance, he certainly abominable karma activities buddhi yogat on the strength of Krishna consciousness. Dhananjaya, open wire of wealth. Buddha, in such consciousness. Sharanam, full surrender. Anvicha, desire. Kripana, the miseries, okay. Palaha,
Miser.
misers, okay. Kripana, the misers. Palahat hetvaha, those desiring fruitive action. Translation. O Dhananjaya, rid yourself of all fruitive activities by devotional service and surrender fully to that consciousness. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are miseries. Purport. One who has actually come to understand one's constitutional position as the eternal servitor of the Lord gives up all engagements save working in Krishna consciousness. As already explained, Buddhi Yoga means transcendental loving service to the Lord. Such devotion service is the right course of action for the living entity. Only miseries desires to enjoy the fruit of their own work just to be further entangled in material bondage. Except for work in Krishna consciousness, all activities are abominable because they continually bind the worker to the cycle of birth and death. One should therefore never desire to be the cause of work. Everything should be done in Krishna consciousness for the satisfaction of Krishna. Miseries do not know how to utilize the aspects of riches which they acquired by good fortune or by hard labor. One should spend all energies working in Krishna consciousness, and that will make one's life successful. Like the miseries, unfortunate persons do not employ their human energy in the service of the Lord. बुद्धियुक्तो जहति था उभे सुकृता दुष्कृते तस्मद्योग्या युज्यस्व योगकर्मसु कौसलवम्. Buddhi Yukta, one who is engaged in devotional service, Jahati, can get rid of aha, in this life, Ubhe, in both Sukruta, Dushkruti, in good and bad results. Tasmat, therefore, Yogaya, for the sake of devotional service. Yujya be so engaged. Yoga, Krishna consciousness, Karmasu, in all activities. Kausalam, art. Translation: a man engaged in devotion service rids himself of both good and bad actions even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, O Arjuna, which is in the heart of all work. Purport. See, purport by Srila Prabhupada. Since time memorial, each living entity has accumulated the various reactions of his good and bad work. As such, he is continuously ignorant of his real constitutional position. Once ignorance can be removed by the instruction of the Bhagavad Gita, which is just the one to surrender unto Lord Sri Krishna in all respects and become liberated from the chained victimization of action and reaction, birth after birth. Arjuna is therefore advised to act in Krishna consciousness, the purifying force of resultant action. Text 51. Karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam tyaktva manishinaha janma bandha vinirmukta padam gachanti anyamadam. Synonyms: karmajam, because of fruitive activities. Buddhi yukta, being done in devotion service. Hey, certainly. Phalam, results. Tektva, giving up. Manisina, devotees who are great sages. Janma bandha, the bondage of birth and death. Nirmukta, liberated souls. Padam, position. Gachanti, reach. Annamaya, without measures. Translation: the wise engaged in devotion service take refuge in the Lord and free themselves from the cycle of birth and death by renouncing the fruits of action in the material world. In this way, they can attain that state behind all miseries. Purport: liberated living entities seek the place where there are no material miseries. The Bhagavatam says, Samvittaye pada palvam mahatpadam punya yasho murhari bhavam buddhir vatsapadam param padam yad vipadam ina tesham. Bhagavatam 10.14.58. For one who has accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, who is the shelter of the cosmic manifestation and is famous as Mukunda, or the giver of Mukti, the ocean of the material world is like the water contained in a cloth of print. Parampadam, or the place where there are no material miseries, or Vaikunta, in his soul, not the place where there is danger in every step of life. Owing to ignorance, one does not know that this material world is a miserable place where there are dangers at every step. Out of ignorance, only less intelligent persons try to adjust to the situation by creative activities, thinking that resultant actions will make them happy. They do not know that no kind of material body anywhere within the universe can give life without miseries. The miseries of life, namely birth, death, old age, and disease, are present everywhere within the material world. But one who understands his real constitutional position as the eternal servitor of this Lord, and those knows the position of the personality of Godhead, engages himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Consequently, he becomes qualified to enter into the Vaikuntha planets where there is neither material miserable life nor the influence of time and death. To know one's constitutional position means to know also the sublime position of the Lord. One who wrongly thinks that the living entity's position and the Lord's position are on the same level is to be understood to be in darkness and therefore unable to engage himself in the devotion service of the Lord. He becomes a Lord himself and thus paves the way, way for the repetition of birth and death. But one who understands that his position is to serve transfers himself to the service of the Lord, at once becomes eligible for Vaikuntha Loka. Service for the cause of the Lord is called Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga, or in plain words, devotion service to the Lord. Who wants to continue, Prabhu?
Prabhu, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Okay, I can read one. Yada te moha kalilam buddhirvyati tada gandasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. Word to word. Yada, when, te, your, moha, illusory, kalilam, dense forest, buddhi, transcendental service with intelligence. Vyatitarsyati, surpasses. Tada, at that time. Gantasi, you shall go. Nirvedam, callousness. Shrotavyasya, all that is to be heard. Shrutasya, all that is already heard. Cha, also. Translation. When your intelligence has passed out of the dense forest of delusion, you shall become indifferent to all that has been heard and all that is to be heard. Purport. Oh, what is this huge verse? There are many good examples in the lives of great devotees of the Lord of those who become indifferent to the rituals of the Vedas simply by devotional service to the Lord. When a person factually understands Krishna and his relationship with Krishna, he naturally becomes completely indifferent to the rituals of fruitive activities, even though an experienced Brahmana. Sri Madhavendra Puri, a great devotee and acharya in the line of the devotees, says, Sandhya Vandana Badram Ashtu Bhavato Bosnatu. Is this which tune? This is huge verse.
Huge one, bro. Is it like supposed to be 8 lines, but it's 4 lines only?
So I think it's Mangalarti.
What is that?
Da, na, 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 na.
Can it be?
Yeah, badan, badana, padram astu bhavato. Bohosana tubhyam namo. Well, it's I think it's 17 syllable.
Oh.
Like the 6 Goswamis. Nana Sasha Vicharne Sandhya Vandana Badram Astu Bhavato Posana Tobhyam Namo Devam Pitrascha Tarpana
Yes, Prabhu. It is
Yes.
okay, Haribol, I can try it.
Okay.
Sandhya Vandana Bhadramastu Bhavato Boshnana Tubhyam Namo Bodeva Pitarascha Tarpana Vido Naham Kshama Kshamyatam Yatra Kvapi Nishadya Yadavakulot how is this? Yatra kvapi nishadya yada. Prabhu, I don't know how this third line is. Can you say it?
Yeah.
So it could be Kulu Tamasya.
You want to read it?
Kvapi nishadya yada vakulo ta.
You just say Yadavaha Prabhu. Yatra Kwapi Nishadya Yadavaha Kulotamasya Kamshadvishaha.
Wait.
I'm not getting it.
No. Like when you said Yadava, but you said Yadavaha. It should be
Oh, yes.
Yadava.
Yes, it should
Oh,
be
yes.
Yadavaha.
Yatra kvapi nishadya yadavakulo tamasyakam shadvisha smaramagam harami tadalam manyena me. I
There you
think.
go.
Oh Lord, in my prayers 3 times. Oh yeah, this is really nice verse. I had this in notes. Oh Lord, in my prayers 3 times a day, all glory to you. Bathing, I offer my obeisances unto you. O demigods, O forefathers, please excuse me for my inability to offer my respects. Now, wherever I sit, I can remember the great descendants of the Yadu dynasty Krishna, the enemy of Kamsa, and thereby I can free myself from all sinful bondage. I think this is sufficient for me. The Vedic rites and rituals are imperative for neophytes, comprehending all kinds of prayers 3 times a day, taking a bath early in the morning, offering respects to the forefathers, etc. But when one is fully in Krishna consciousness and is engaged in his transcendental loving service, one becomes indifferent to all these regulative principles because he has already attained perfection. If one can reach the platform of understanding by service to the Supreme Lord, he has no longer to execute different types of penances and sacrifices as recommended in revealed scriptures. And similarly, if one has not understood that the purpose of the Vedas is to reach Krishna and simply engages in the rituals, then he is uselessly wasting time in such engagements. Persons in Krishna consciousness transcend the limit of Shabda Brahman or the range of the Vedas and Upanishads.
What's the difference between neophytes and one in full Krishna consciousness? Because it says if you are a neophyte, you still have to offer respect to the forefathers. So neophytes still have to do all of the three prayers 3 times, the prayers 3 times a day, and then so no exception, right, bro?
I don't
Neophytes
know
still have to
if this
continue.
I don't know if this means neophyte devotee or neophyte in general.
Oh, yes, bro.
It has to be neophyte in general because
Yeah, he's like neophyte.
Vaishnavas, they never do that.
Yes, Prabhu, I think he's neophyte to the whole Brahminical culture, maybe.
Hmm.
Yes, Prabhu, but then that can be asked what is this neophyte meaning here?
Whites, yeah. Even the Gayatri mantra is initiated. Like you get the Gayatri mantra initiation for performing those rituals, right, Prabhu? Like you have to still chant the Gayatri mantra as a neophyte, right,
Yes,
Prabhu?
Prabhu.
Or is it not? Okay, so initiated devotees still have to chant the Gayatri mantra,
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, they had to do it.
yes, Prabhu. Or is it only the Brahminical initiation, the second initiation?
Yeah, only the second initiation ones.
Yes, Prabhu.
I think this is anyone who is not advanced in spiritual and like knowledge. So he is counted as neophyte. And when he becomes a devotee, he doesn't have to do this. But if one is a neophyte, then he has to do this when he has not yet attained the Krishna conscious, that he can practice the chanting and all this. Then he has to do all these things.
Yeah, because like the previous verses, what were the previous verses? Krishna was telling Arjuna, like, give up the Vedas, and just take so he was speaking like that. And then the other verses before then, Krishna was saying, people who are foolish are taking shelter in the flowery words of the Vedas. So there are those who are like taking shelter of the Vedas. So even though that the Vedas are coming from Krishna and they have like all this, sacrifices and everything, like this verse is saying, like all glories to you, three prayers, all glories to you, mantras and everything. Uh, these are the people, these are people who cling to the Vedas. So like they're like neophytes.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, that makes sense. Thank you, Prabhu. Haribol.
Ibo.
All glories to Shubha.
Okay, now we need to go to six Astakam prayers. Cheto. Yes, Prabhu.
Is this chapter 2? It was very nice.
Yes, Prabhu, chapter 2.
Wow. Nice. Sorry about that. Please continue, Prabhu.
No problem, Prabhu. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagninirvapanam Shreyah kairavachandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamritasvadanam Sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam.
नाम्नामाकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस्तत्रार्पित नियमितः स्मरणे न कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवम् ईदृशम् इहाजनीं नानुरागः
गृणादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुना अमानीनामानदेन कीर्तनीयाय सदा हरिः
Natanam na sundarim Kavitava Jagadish Kamaya Mama Jamani Isware Bhavatat Bhaktiya Haitaki Twaye.
ऐनन्दतनुज किङ्करं पतितां विश्वे भवां बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजा स्थितधूलिशतशं चिन्तया
Nayanam Kalad Ashutariya Vatanam Gadgarutagriya Pulake Nichitam Vabhukata Tavanama Grihe Bhavisyati.
युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्रावसायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे
विश्वापादरतं विनष्टु मां मद्दर्शनार्मारं करोतु वा यथा तथा वा वददातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु सेवनापरः
Haribol, glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to human beings. And thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energy. They're not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than strong. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all. others. Such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want He causes devotional service, birth after birth.
O son of Maharavanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me from the ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will my hairs of my body stand on and end the recitation of your name?
Haribol.
O Govinda,
feel I am considering the moment you would like 12 years like torrents of stream I'm leaving all vacant in the world.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He's completely free to do anything and everything, for he's always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally.
Haribol. Shri 67 ki jai. Okay, then the 10 offenses. Oh, Lebang Prabhu is not here. First offense, to blaspheme the devotees who dedicate their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
Second offense, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of even Lord Vishnu.
Their defense to disobey the orders of the spiritual master and to consider him as an ordinary person.
First,
Fourth offense, to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures of the scripture to the perseverance with the Vedic version.
Consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination.
give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord.
Zero.
Sinful activities in the strength of the holy name.
Eighth offense, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as food activities, karma kanda.
To instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name of the Lord. Zero.
Do not have complete understanding of and material attachment even after understanding many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive. Every devotee to be Vaishnava must guard against property to achieve the ultimate Krishna.
Krishna Prema.
Prema, Haribo. Panchagal, it is for witness
Quotation
to
from
all the
Lord
Vaishnavas
Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. Who are just
who are
like,
just
yes, Prabhu.
please continue. Please
Hey,
continue.
Bo. Come on, let's go.
Prabhu, we can read at same time. Hey, are you?
Who's the most humble?
Please continue, bro.
We are just like desire trees who can fulfill our desires and are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned soul. Vancha Nanda Gaudiya Vaishnavinda ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Gaura Premanande.
Jai. Hari, Hari, Hari.
Haribo.